because they're.
Mo, did you throw me moderator also?
That. Yeah, I made you cause. I'm trying to see if it's gonna do the live.
It already did.
It did. It worked.
Okay.
I got the warning.
Yeah, I got
if
the
I don't like it, I get a leave. And you are now live on.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was gonna work or not. Just because the technology. I guess Facebook is shutting down.
Oh yeah, that was glorious today.
What was that? Like an all-day thing?
No, it only happened. It was like a 4-hour shutdown. It was ridiculous.
System reboot they're doing.
No, it wasn't a system reboot. So I don't know. Do you remember back in I don't know, the late 90s when a thing called Napster happened?
Yeah, I remember that shit.
You remember when the lawsuit was shutting them down and all of a sudden everybody started downloading?
Everything.
Causing massive DNS shutdowns.
You know what it was? It was really just Metallica was complaining so much about people getting.
Oh, not again! Not again! Not again! Tell Lars to go play in traffic.
They were so butthurt about that shit back then.
No, it wasn't they. It wasn't they. It was Lars.
Yeah, you're right. It was Lars. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That man got on TV and celebrated how upset he was. He didn't say the band. He said himself.
He was basically like Dave Mustaine when Dave Mustaine left and went into Megadeth and did that interview and was like crying about it.
Yeah, it's exactly. Well, okay, now that you bring up the other party in the original argument, who do you think didn't like each other, causing the Megadeth-Metallica feuds?
Hell yeah. And you know what? I enjoyed their breakup because it brought more great music out there, and I was like, I'm not against this. I didn't see why you had to pick sides back then. You don't need to just like one. They both have some good shit,
Hey, no, you picked a side. The side of, cool, put out more music.
Yeah,
Megadeth went.
You're like no ballsing them.
Yeah, no balls. Because Megadeth, Iron Maiden, Metallica, it was, oh, you think you can do better? No, I can rock harder. No, I can rock harder. Mm-hmm. In walks Ozzy with a bat and says, kiss my ass.
Iron Maiden was, they had the first album I ever bought was like on CD was an Iron Maiden album. That's so cool.
See, you're slacking. Fangirl. You're slacking. You should be saying the first single that you bought was on 45 for Iron Maiden.
Yeah, no, I wasn't that cool.
That cool. It was cheaper to buy it at the freaking Goodwill. You could pick up Iron Maiden on 45 for like, I think it was like 29 cents.
Damn.
Well, great for us, bad for them. Public radio didn't like them. They don't like putting that on public radio. They're like, oh my God, that's Satan music. No, it's not. Wait a minute, you're worried about us?
Yeah, I mean, that's like...
You're worried about us.
Did you ever see that
West Coast thing was going on?
You ever see that shit with Judas Priest where they like...
Oh, that was fun to watch.
That went down the rabbit hole? Yeah, that was insane.
Hell yeah. It was insane as hell, but it was fun to watch because then you had Pantera and you had a few others. Green Jelly was one of my absolute favorites. go in that realm.
I don't
Because
think
they were the only
I don't think
ones
I've ever
to
heard
have
that.
balls. Look up Green Jelly, Three Little Pigs.
I'm gonna have to put that in the playlist for later.
They had the balls to go Iron Maiden on a children's song or a children's deal. It was very much, okay, this is getting a little out of hand. But then ICP and all of that.
Yeah, no one bats an eye now. They were just laying the groundwork, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Nowadays, no, we have Bieber.
Oh, yeah.
And the mumbling rapper, which
But
nobody
listen,
can...
Bieber's coming out with some like good shit lately. I don't like. He's coming out with some quality stuff. I just want that to be known.
Oh. I'm going to say that Bieber is so owned by the media companies that he probably doesn't know what he's doing. He's just doing it as told.
He probably also doesn't care, though.
Well, yeah.
If that's the case. You know?
We can all agree on that. He don't care.
Yeah. Like, if your genre is, like, pop music or whatever's popular, like, that's... You really don't give a shit. You're like, am I getting paid? Sweet. You know?
It's nice when they actually own up to it. Like Bieber. He's owned up to it many a times. No, I get paid.
Yeah. So well, works. Hey Dan, I'm outside smoking right now. Could you accept people coming in?
Yeah, I got it.
Hear the ding
I'm
dong,
watching.
but yeah, awesome. Thank you.
And the next contestant on The Price is Wrong is Steven, staring at the screen.
How's it going, man? How you doing?
It's another day and I'm breathing.
Welcome.
How are you doing?
Talking about Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah. It's a
I'm
good
just
conversation
saying,
when it
like,
starts that way, you know?
within the past, like, year or two, some of his songs have not been horrible.
Okay, be the father of
So can we
roles. and
gauge
then
it
tell
while
me-
we're here?
talk to me about
Can we
it.
gauge this? Let's gauge this the military way, because there was a way, and the first time I heard this, it blew my mind with how to the point it was in terms of determining whether you're about it or not, you know. And I heard
you
it
might
first.
want to shut off live on this one.
Oh no, I don't care. This is for vets and first responders. I'm not gonna fucking, you know, it's nothing bad.
No, you're giving
Well,
up private. You're giving up private information. You're giving up our
I don't
ways.
care. The world needs to know. The world needs to know. If you have small children around, cover their ears, or don't. It's cool. It's America. You do what you want. Anyway, so first time I heard this was somebody talking about T Swift, and I'm all about Tay Tay. Like, it's my jams. That was one of my pre-battle, like, you know, go-tos. It was great. It really pumps you up.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry was up there too.
Hey.
You know, I'll be.
That was when Frozen came out too.
Dark
Frozen songs.
So somebody one day, I don't remember who it was. I wish I remembered who it was, but it was like somebody was like, we were listening to like a Taylor Swift song, and he was like, I would crawl through a mile of glass just to hear her fart through a radio. And I was like, God damn, like that man knows what he's about. It's like, that's a fucking standard. Yeah, so
like another,
Dan, really what this comes back down to is, would you do that for Jay Beeps?
I mean, absolutely not, obviously, but I never said I love Justin Bieber. I never, like, I'm just saying he's not shit right now.
Okay. I mean, when you're comparing, like, shit to, you know, DFAC food, it's not that much of an upgrade. I was trying to see where you were at with his upgrade, you know.
And contracted defect food was not that bad in theater. Mongolian Night.
Yeah, but that's the only time it was good. And it was like case by case. Like if you were on a big fob and you got lucky and they contracted it, then hell yeah.
Balad. Balad and Mosul.
But also, you know, maybe we had fucking, you know how you have deployment goggles? Maybe it was like deployment DFAC goggles. You know? You know what I'm saying?
That's absolutely right.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you for validating me. I appreciate that.
Because Theater Mountain Dew was not real Mountain Dew.
No. Negative.
And I'm sorry, Iraqi Marlboros are not Marlboro cigarettes. But hey, they were cheap. They were cheap.
What was it? So I never went to Iraq. I only did Afghanistan a couple times, and we had like the absolute like bottom of the barrel shitty local cigarette was Pines. What was the Iraq equivalent?
Oh God, shit.
Like it felt like you could just like every time you inhale, it was just like sawdust. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think of the brand because it was before the contracted person brought Marlboros on camp in Mosul. They brought the local brand, and
yeah,
I think it was premium.
Just premium.
Just said premium. Which, when you run out of cigarettes, when you run out of cigarettes just north of Baghdad, and you're in Mosul for a good month and a half with nothing, and they show up with anything, yeah, hey, $100 a carton, cool. Give me a pack. I could give a fuck.
Damn, you guys got Jip. I was able to get the Pines, like our version of that. I was able to get that for like $1 a carton. And I mean,
see, we
showed.
Again, infantry versus service support. Service support is not allowed to buy off local economy without command authorization.
Okay.
And if you do,
I lucked out, dude. I would.
You will
go ahead.
If you do, you will end up with a gen mob. General memo is not a good thing if you ever want to survive in the military.
Yeah, I would. There was one, because we had a hard time. The first time I went, we had a hard time getting shit. But every now and then we'd do a patrol past like a bazaar that was like right outside the cop, and because I could talk to whoever I wanted to, it was a lot easier. I'd just walk up and be like, "Yo, no," and Dari like, "Hey, here's $1. Like, give me a carton. Thank you. Bye." Yeah, and they'd be so excited to talk to me, and they'd give me a fucking carton for $1, and then I'd walk away. It was great. It was a good time.
See, by October of 2003, they allowed contractors on the FOB in Mosul, and they brought shit in and set up a restaurant. We were like, holy hell, we don't care what you're cooking. You're cooking food. I'll give you whatever you want. We ended up with lamb kebab.
Nice. Did it give you the runs?
No, that was the so lamb kebab, you were good. The patty, you were in the shitter within 30 minutes. Violently in the shitter.
Mystery meat.
It might have been the rats that disappeared shortly after the restaurant showed up. Never know. We didn't care. It wasn't MRE.
If it's got hair, you can eat it.
Like, I just want it. Just put it in my mouth.
Hey,
I'll deal with the other end later.
We started getting issued MREs February 29th, 2003. Started getting real meals in November. So, yeah. anything. Hell, their idea of fun was 4th of July. They broke out the MKT trailer and did Sea Rats.
That's all I've ever had with Sea Rats.
Hey, it's an upgrade from an
I'm
MRE.
dating myself. Sea Rats are an upgrade?
From an MRE, you're damn skippy.
That sounds like you shouldn't be saying that statement.
I want to see anybody survive on 6 months of Country Captain's chicken. With Iraqi heat. Oh, come on, Mo. You could do it.
I could, but I have a racial bonus. Yeah. You know, like my ancestors would guard my intestines.
I don't see them guarding against the Army's Country Captain's chicken.
Dude, I'm just saying, if it can guard me against the local food, I'm pretty sure it can guard me against. I've never ever had an issue with any of those things.
The mystery meat. One thing you were able
made me sick. Yeah, dude, I did not once have an issue with any food that I tried ever.
See,
the only one that I came close to, though, I will say, the veggie omelet MRE. That shit was fucking nasty. But that was the only one that was like, I kind of got there, but I didn't get there, you know. And it was just because it was like, even with the heater, it was like it had the consistency and the look of just vomit. So it was really lovely. Yeah.
That MRE was the $20 challenge. But then there was the saltine cracker challenge and the pound cake challenge.
What's the pound cake challenge?
So do you remember all the flavors?
There was like lemon pound cake and marble.
Chocolate mint.
Oh, they never had chocolate mint when I was running through them.
So the chocolate mint, if you had the runs, it would stop it. Dead cold in its tracks. So we had the pound cake challenge of you had to eat all flavors all at once. And then eat Country Captain's chicken, which really did not like getting stopped. We were really bored.
How did that work? That's like an upper and a downer, man. Like you're.
Well, yeah, we're not smart people. We're aviation mechanics that were not allowed to work on anything for the first 4 months of deployment. We were literally division bitch boys.
That sucks.
I drove back and forth from Mosul to Kuwait port, picking up equipment and dropping off equipment in 20-foot mill vans, developing a thing called the Eagle Express. It really led to a boring ass life. Well, okay, driving through a combat zone and everything else, yes, that's eventful, but it was boring.
Like nothing ever happened, or it was just always butt puckered on edge?
We were always butt puckered on edge looking for a fight, so nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
We literally had a butt in every seat. We had a contact truck with 4 people in it. Everybody in the vehicle had a 9mm, an M4, and a 249. Then the 2 bobtails had 249s and M4s. We were looking for a fight. As if you're looking for it, nobody ever fucks with you. Even in Afghanistan, from the 9mm? M9, yeah. Remember, aviation.
Okay, all right. Yeah, good point.
some of the people are test pilots and stuff. They do cool things.
Okay.
So we're us lowerlings. We get to use things that they have in the unit for the other people. But then we had M16 with 203.
Hell yeah.
The original Godzilla gun.
These things are so fucking cool. I always liked the 203s better than the 320s.
Yeah, but it's a little fucked up when they give it to the 5'5" Puerto Rican guy.
Why? He's gonna use the shit out of it. Right?
No, and then they assign him to the tool room.
Oh, so it just never goes out and sees anything?
Yeah.
Breaks my fucking heart. Oh, what a waste. What a waste. You know what? That actually, I remember the first time I went over, I had to stop at Bagram for like I think it was like a day. And
God, I could have.
Like there was people on there.
Yeah, my old unit.
I don't know what the equivalent of that. But there was people there that were stuck as fobbits, but carrying around like 249s. I was like, God, that sucks, man. What a shitty ass system.
Hey, I deployed with a 249 in 03. I slept with it.
Oh, that's gotta be,
I leaned on it.
Gotta be such a tease, man.
It is. I can actually state I never fired the thing in fucking country. I had the full ammo load and everything else. Had to carry it around. Yep, I get to stare at it. Never never load a belt.
That sucks, dude. Because the only good part about being a machine gunner is is getting to shoot things.
Pray and spray.
Honestly, like at the time that you start shooting, you don't even shooting shit is great, but part of it is just like you're just trying to shoot a lot of shit, so you have less to carry back with you.
You're
like, the more bullets I shoot, the less I have to walk back with.
That shit fucking weighs a shit ton. A 200-round drum.
It's so beautiful when you use it.
No, once you start getting up around 800 or 900 rounds and the barrel starts glowing, then you get a little concerned of fucking runoff.
It was spare barrels, man. That's what they're there for.
Right. No. Now you're talking infantry talk. My unit only had one barrel for my 249. Come on now.
What? That's supposed to be part of the weapon.
No, if the barrel needs changed out, it had to be sent to not depot, but what is it for armory? The unit would have to order it out because the arms room didn't carry anything. Really?
What?
Welcome to aviation.
That sounds.
Welcome to Third
wrong.
Shop Aviation. Welcome to depot level aviation.
You know, so I was a platoon level armor for a little while, and I was like, I swear, I don't know, I could totally be wrong, but I feel like the spare barrel is something that comes with the 249 that's accountable. Like when the armors have to do their fucking
their hand receipt layout and all that.
Yeah.
But welcome to 101st Aviation. So they don't know where the hand receipt is.
Nice. And they just one LT signs it off to another when they fucking rotate out.
No,
awesome.
No. The company commander was a major.
So he probably made it a butter bar sign for all that shit, giving him a speech of
lowest rank in the unit was a captain, the XO.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. Well, the unit I was in was the largest battalion in the United States Army at 1,287 people.
Damn, dude. Because they're a little baby battalion. Wait, is that a lot for aviation? I don't know. I'm thinking infantry battalions.
It's a lot for even aviation because the one battalion took care of 2 aviation brigades.
Oh, okay. That sucks.
Now it's been split up and differentiated and fucking thinned down to where, hell, Fort Campbell only has 1 aviation brigade now. They cased the colors and disbanded the other one. And oh, wait a minute. They abandoned Afghanistan and left the equipment there.
Well, that was supposed to be for the ANA, quote unquote.
And then why were the Army Aviation tail numbers that were assigned to Fort Campbell? Whoops.
Oh, they were.
Yes, sir.
Oopsies. It's almost like there was no foresight.
Might have been a little bit of foresight. Might have been just in the wrong
they don't
direction.
Know how to fly these things.
No, it just might have been in the wrong direction.
Out.
Yeah, it'll buff out.
Hold my beer, watch this shit.
Just rub
somebody
some
was
dirt
probably
in
trying
it,
to troll him really
okay.
hard. Yeah. It's like somebody's going to crash it, watch. Yeah. Somebody's made a bet out there. They're just waiting for that thing to crash so they can cash in.
Oh, they didn't do the whole I pay $1 for that, would they? The old RoboCop, I'd buy that for $1. And of course, sound effects for the perfect win. Unbecoming. No! Offer certain gentlemen. Never. Now, you've got a PPC, Mo.
Never. You're never going to stump that light out of me.
Really? Best celebrity death match. Go.
Oh. You're gonna have to come back to me on that. Ask somebody else. I need to ponder this.
Bruno.
I don't want to waste this
celebrity death match. Anybody?
Muted, Bruno.
All right, boom. What's up?
Best celebrity death match. Go.
How about we start getting the topic going?
Oh, yeah.
Or let's do the round. Let's do the.
He's a potty pooper. Yeah, let's go around.
The half hour in. Mo, do you have the rules up?
I do.
You want to read them off? I don't have mine up. Sorry.
I will. I shall. I surely shall. All right. So, first off, if you're checking in, watching this, if you want to help out, let us reach more people, then always be a monthly donor or do your support. And if you can't do that, no worries. Just spread the word. Get people involved. That's the only way this can grow and we can get that community strong. Now, the rules. All right. Respect the moderator's decision to direct the conversation. And that's really just if things get too off the rails, we'll just reel it in, get back on track, right? We're always open to let things play out. As you've seen, you have my potty mouth as a good example, so don't be afraid. But just understand that, like, if shit just does go too far off the rails, we'll probably nudge you a little bit and be like, hey. So rule number 2, obviously, this goes without saying, but it's got to be said. No racist, prejudice shit. That will not be tolerated. All right. This is a community where the communities we served, we all bleed the same fucking colored blood. All right. And if that's not good enough for you, then we can't have you on. We'll talk to you on the side, but can't be on here. So rule number 3, let other people finish their thoughts without interrupting them. I know a lot of us have a hard time forming things, so just give a little respect, wait for somebody to finish their thoughts before you jump in. And I know we're all really bad about that, but we'll try. It's a work in progress. And then rule number 4, of course, no diagnosing. None of us are professionals in that sense, and if you are, this is not a place where we're trying to diagnose. If you want to push somebody to resources, by all means, but let's not diagnose each other. And that's really it. Dan, you want to bring in the topics?
Yeah. So I'm going to go with what we originally went with before the call earlier, at least to start out with. So how do you compare yourself to people who you perceive have not experienced your level of trauma? And then how do you compare to people who've experienced more trauma than you? Are you humbled by it? Can you notice yourself doing some one-upping just subconsciously? How do you see yourself behaving around people, or do you see yourself comparing with trauma, other people's trauma, and the severity of it?
Or idolizing? Yeah.
I mean, I can go first.
Well, that's the time.
Just to ease that into it. So I, by nature, I am a comparer. I compare myself to others, but it is I upwards compare. So I diminish my own shit in the light of somebody else's. So I compare, oh shit, all right, they went through 3 combat deployments. They're way I'm way better than they are, that kind of shit. Or I'm not qualified. It's not right. I don't really see myself maybe on the surface. No, see, I don't. If somebody truly hasn't experienced my level of trauma, it doesn't I don't judge them anyway. But if I perceive how they are telling their story, or if I perceive what they're saying is inauthentic, it seems fake, that's where I will start, no matter the severity of the trauma. But yeah, people who haven't gone through as much, I look at that as a blessing for them, in all honesty. There isn't it's never like, oh, I've gone through more, fuck you. No. It's I'm glad you didn't. If you do, it's like this, and I try and map it out for them. That's about it for me. I mean, pretty cut and dry on that one. What about you, Steven?
First of all, Steven, before you go, I fucking love your shirt, and I'm so jealous of your experience.
You like that?
Oh, I love it. Oh. I'm having a moment right now. That's fucking amazing, man.
I actually got that from a Secret Brothers Christmas present.
What?
Yeah, we did last
Hell
year.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of people we just put in and
Oh, his mic went out.
Oh, you cut out.
Yeah, your mic cut out.
Your mic cut out.
You can't hear us, I don't think.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can. Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
They know me well enough that they know that I am old, and I have seen Dimebag many, many times on stage. Many times.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, sorry, I distracted you. That's me idolizing.
That's funny. My level of trauma is like nothing really. There's no, like I was never in combat. I spent 18 years with the Army and never saw combat. So.
But that doesn't mean you didn't see trauma.
Right. So do you? All right. So, but really, I'm going to cut you off really quick. So like in situations like this where we're talking about our combat trauma, do you feel like displaced? Do you feel like it's like you can't relate to any of it? Even like take the combat aspect out of it. You know what I mean? Like what Mo was saying, trauma, the pain, can you relate in those senses or no?
Yeah, I can definitely relate. I mean, there, I don't know, like everybody goes through trauma of some sort in some way, but my level of trauma is nowhere near you know, I've had different, you know, near death experiences. I've actually been dead like 3 times because of my heart condition. So, you know, it's you know, I've been paddled 3 times. So
Steve, I think you're
not in the kink way,
downplaying your
to be
level
clear.
of trauma.
yeah, but it's a heart condition. It's not
Still
you know,
your life.
It's my heart trying to kill me, not somebody else trying to kill me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I got you.
So, and there's nothing
The
that my
man's
brother,
trying to get you, man.
right? There's nothing that my brother to my right or to my left can do to help me. So it's a different level of trauma. Yeah, I've been through trauma, but nothing like what you guys have been through.
So I guess I don't know. I guess so. There's a few ways we could go with this. One is just what you've experienced in general, right? With your experiences, because let's be real here. You got paddled 3 fucking times. Like, that ain't no joke, man.
Right.
Plus, on top of probably whatever else you experienced through 18 years of service, and then shit, even stuff before the military, you know, because trauma can happen before the military. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
But with the things that you've experienced, right, the level that you're at, and you come out of it, and you run into, let's say you run into somebody who's going through something that may seem very trivial compared to what you've been through, you know, and their response to the situation could be very, very drastic. You know, and I guess that kind of comes down to it too, is like when you're, regardless of what it is, right? When you're seeing somebody who's reacting in a way that you wouldn't personally react yourself to the same situation, how do you take that? That's just one angle. There's another angle too, but you know.
Well, there's no. I try not to like judge anybody's trauma. What I may not think that they're going through some kind of trauma, I can't really judge that because I'm not them. To you know, because I know to like say my son who's autistic, an ant crawling up his arm is traumatic, you know, extremely traumatic, and I can't compare that to anything. But it's just a matter of how you approach that person to where they're, you know, to quell their trauma or you know,
Lessen the symptoms.
yeah, exactly, yes. So
You wise ass humble bitch.
I was gonna say everything he said was like.
No, that's good. That's it. Honestly, I think that's a very healthy approach. I don't think it's everyone's approach right off the bat, but you know.
My son has taught me a lot about life. My son's taught me a lot about life. My youngest son, I actually adopted him. His biological mother decided that the only prenatal care that she was going to have was having him, and he came out addicted to heroin. Spent the first 16 days of his life going through detox. And he's autistic, but he's on a very high level. You know, you would never know it. You know, you really would never know it until an ant is crawling up his arm.
Right. Yeah.
and then it's like, whoa. But once I started trying to like look at life through his eyes, it's like, yeah, that, you know, there's not really much in my life that, I got it easy. I got it good, you know? So.
Well, I mean, ultimately, I think that's where it's a good place to get to, is getting to a spot where you can kind of put yourself in the other person's shoes, right? Put it in perspective, because your experiences will never you know, you can't. I think it's unfair for both parties for people to compare their experiences like that. You know, which is ultimately why this conversation is out. And that's, I mean, that goes a long, long way because, man, there was, I don't remember where I heard it, but somebody was talking about something where it was like, kind of thinking of it in a way as like, or maybe I read it, I don't fucking remember, where it's like everyone's kind of got a cup or a bucket, right? And their bucket's like different sizes in terms of the level of shit they can take, right? And if that bucket, oh, you can't, oh no.
I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
I got you back.
There we go.
Oh, okay. You got me now? All right, sweet. Yeah, but it's like buckets, and like everyone has a different size bucket in terms of the amount of shit that they can take. And if you don't take the time to, like, you know, dump some of that shit out before it gets full, then, you know, everyone has a different amount that they can take before it gets full. And it's just, you know, and that's not a bad thing at all. It's just that everyone reacts differently to things, you know. And I think a lot of that has to do with your perspective and then how you've experienced shit in the past, plus how you've approached those things in the past, your mindset going forward. And then that sets the stage for the next fucking thing that happens. And then that gets tossed into the mix, and then that sets the stage. That mix of shit sets the stage for the next thing. So
I think it's
totally
also
lost where I was going with this.
I think
thank you, Dan.
I got you, baby. I got you.
No balls.
Huh? Oh. I think comparison in most cases is used as a mask / vice. I know I say those words probably too much. But I think it's an easy go-to. It's tangible, especially if you're in your thoughts a lot and you're not verbalizing a lot of it. If you're not, I can't tell you how many times I've come on the Zoom or I've had conversations with Mo where I've had a consistent thought for a couple days, a week, whatever it is. And in my head, that shit sounded fucking good. And that was the fucking truth. That's all there was to it. The second I said it out loud, I was like, "Oh, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Calm down. Pull it back now. Let's go." So I think the comparison it's a way to avoid that. It's a way to avoid what's actually really your main issue. Whatever your issue may be, when you compare, you're taking the attention off of yourself and you're putting it onto others. That could be one of the examples. I mean, I'm sure there's 15, 20 different reasons why people do it, but I think with us and with our population and the way we are, I think that we do it to not necessarily think about our own issues, problems. Hold on, it's coming. This word's it's so easy. Accomplishments. What the fuck? Sorry, that was killing me. Some people are even ashamed of their accomplishments, so they'll compare to lessen what their accomplishments mean. The end.
Well, yeah, I mean that's probably why some people either exaggerate shit or make shit up too, to try to make themselves probably more of an insecurity and an internal thing than anything.
See, I
try to make themselves feel like, you know.
I heard or not heard. I had one of my friends. So it's a mutual friend. We know him, Mo. Turned into an alcoholic. Hold on. Ooh, that thought's slipping fast. What were you just talking about?
Making shit up, exaggerating service.
Boom, got it.
Making
Good. Thank you.
shit up.
So the other side of that coin is, I used to think that like vets who drank solely for the purpose of not remembering what the fuck was going on in their heads. One of our friends, he informed me it's the complete opposite for him. He drinks profusely, or he drank profusely to feel. So I think it could be another, like the other side of the coin for this also with the comparison. It may not be hey, fuck all you guys, I'm better than you. It may be I have to compare so I can feel my own my own worth, my own accomplishments, grief, shame, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
But how do you compare those things?
How do you compare what? Well, I mean, here.
How do you compare trauma?
When I say
It's-
this is not. When I say this is how we think it individually. It's not rational. It's not logical. It's not the way it should be. Really, it's the way we think. So it's not right, but that's just the process that happens. So I'm not saying that yes, this is the way we should think. But for some reason, that's the way I think. You know what I mean? It's just that it's a switch you can't turn off. So for me, it's really easy. I diminish my own accomplishments and shit. Or in the rare cases where I have somebody blatantly lying to my face, like I've had before, I immediately like, no, fuck you. I know for a fact I'm better than you now because you're lying about this shit to me. But the majority of the time, it's that dude. Yeah, like I have my shit and whatnot. But that guy's been to Afghanistan twice, Iraq 3 times. So like, in my mind, priority. He had more happen. There has to be more trauma. Realistically, no. Trauma's trauma. Sure, it pancakes up, it stacks, but it is what it is. So, but that's 4.5, almost 5.5, almost 6 years of therapy. I have that now, like that, where I can verbalize it this way. Where before it was just the negative comparison. I don't know if that answered your question.
I don't know. It's hard because I know a lot of what you've been through, and I would never want to have to go through that. I mean, it's not like you get a choice on those
fuck
things.
That, dude.
See,
but there's stuff I've been through that you would probably go, I am so glad that never happened to me.
So that's I'm not when I personally compare, I'm not yearning to experience what the other person experienced or trying to trying to negate what I've experienced. It's more so on I think on an emotional level. So in my mind, I feel this way because I've had not as much happen to them, where they feel this way because they've been on triple the deployments I've been on. It's not a realistic comparison because we've both been through some crazy fucking shit and we're both not dealing with it properly. We both got it. You know what I mean? So now I can rationalize it later, like going through therapy and verbalizing the weird ass fucking thoughts I have go on in my head. But it still happens, and for me, it's a way to feel that what I did was now the whole Afghanistan shit happens, and that ain't what this Zoom's for. So that could be a separate thing there. But before this Afghanistan stuff, it's when I compared myself to people who have achieved greater, in my opinion or in my perception, it was to allow me to feel what I've been through and to what I accomplished and what I was worth in regards to military. Now that has changed in light of the Afghanistan shit, but it's still pretty there. You know what I mean?
The feeling for the brotherhood's still there, regardless of political bullshit.
Well, I'm not a political person, so political bullshit has never ever hindered my ability to have a brotherhood. I don't give a shit what you do in your life, as long as you treat me the way I treat you. We're Gucci. Yeah. There's really nothing. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck what you believe. I mean, within reason.
Okay, slow down. Okay, I know this probably makes me sound old. What the fuck's Gucci?
It's what you tell the baby. Gucci, Gucci, goo.
That's exactly what it is. See, like I'm not that young, but I mean, yeah, all right. Gucci means like it's good. It's good.
Wow, we've got to come up with
You
new
ever
words.
heard of the brand Gucci? It's like I don't know. It's like a
designer,
like a bougie kind of designer brand. Yeah. I don't know if bougie people consider it bougie, which is a whole nother.
And you can't even get
but,
both G's going in the right direction. So
no, they can't.
there is that.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's a designer brand
apparently
that's
have
like,
never
when you say Gucci, it's like, it's nice.
Okay. So y'all are talking about
It's
designer
nice.
brands, and I shop at Walmart.
Hey,
That's
listen,
why
all
you don't know
because
what
we
Gucci
talk
is.
about this. I shop at fucking Walmart. Ross is a deal.
Wait a minute. Where the fuck's
Also,
Ross?
Gucci. I think
I got a Ross near me.
Gucci was a more recent thing.
I think it was more like when I was
past,
when
like,
I was
5,
in high
10 years?
school. When I was in high, nah, I think I really feel like we were doing like abusing the word in high school, where it was like a part of the everyday vernacular for us. Where now it's like, I mean, if I'm in a decent mood, I'll say it just because
I'm sure there's other things that replaced it now.
100%.
Boo bar.
That's timeless. So there's another angle.
Well, I wanted to ask you, Mo.
Oh, me.
Where do you? Hey.
On the hot seat.
Where do you? What do you? Same question. Same question.
Yeah.
Like, how do
With the
you? How do
comparing?
you? Yeah.
Oh, man, honestly, I don't know. Like, I feel like when I talk to somebody who's been through similar things or more things, I don't know. I usually unless they're like an asshole, like I usually get pretty tight with them, right? Like we'll bullshit really easily. Like there's like a little connection in the suck, I guess, that I get from that. Almost like field talk, like bullshit in the field. So I don't think I compare in the sense that like I try to one up. I just get excited. I'm just like, oh man, we can talk about like war shit. Sweet.
I have so many stories.
I get excited, and I love hearing other people's stuff. It's just really cool. It's fast. I mean, like obviously some of it's like pretty fucked up.
But even then, like when they say the fucked
I don't know.
up shit,
I've always
I love hearing like the way
Yeah,
they
I'm like,
say,
damn,
because you
I
can
got it.
gauge how they deal with it by how they're talking about it too. So you're like, oh, I got your
Sure.
number, motherfucker.
Yeah. But it's just I don't know. It's I've always enjoyed that. I've always enjoyed running into somebody who's been through some shit or similar shit. But I also, I mean, I approach it the same way with like people who haven't had those. Well, now, okay, I get more excited with people who've been through that kind of shit. Just because I'm like, oh, we can talk about war things, like, what are you thinking about shooting people? Ooh, like that meme back in the day. Like I get super excited about that.
He's got his arms up, his legs.
Yeah, where he's just like, what are you thinking about, like war
people?
stuff? Yeah, so I get excited that way, but I've never, I don't think I've ever, you know what? Hold on, scratch that. When I was active duty and I was 100% 11 Bravo in the infantry, like I totally drank a little bit of that Kool-Aid where I was like, fucking pogues, where I would say the word pogue.
I think we all did.
Thing.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
And then if you can grow past that.
I mean,
bullshit.
Yeah, and I grew past that, I think, before I left active duty, when the Army decided to like throw me at 30th AG for whatever the fuck reason, which was so heartbreaking at first. But it was cool because I worked with all these drill sergeants and cadre that were not infantry, that were coming from different MOSs, and I had a great time. I talked with a lot of them, heard their experiences, and that changed my mind on things. I wasn't an asshole to anyone, but it definitely internally, it gave me a lot of different perspectives that I never probably would have considered any time soon around that time frame. And I think that humbled me out a lot, because that was a good year and a half before I got out of active duty, before I switched to the reserves, which probably set me up to handle the reserves a little better. Otherwise, if I went straight from like a line unit into the reserves and reclassed, I would have probably had a much
It's like putting a
friggin'.
it's like putting a fighting dog in a brand new kennel with dogs and shit. It'd be terrible.
Yeah, they're like, you're all fucking suck, like fuck everything. I would have been an animal. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you say that,
but it would have been a lot worse. Yeah.
Now that you say that, I was kind of the same way.
Transfers.
Yeah.
I think especially like, first off, when I started therapy is kind of when I got that mindset, because 90% of the infantry we were with acted like pogues. Like, And I was like, dude, if you didn't deploy, you're a pogue. Shut the fuck up. Like that's just what it comes down to. If you did deploy, I don't care if you're a pogue, you're cool. Like awesome. Fuck you.
Tell me
the
about
other kids.
Kuwait.
But yeah, but I kind of thinking about this now. People who have experienced less or no trauma, one, not that I don't believe, but we all don't recognize our trauma. I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we're in therapy. That's just how it is. So whenever somebody says I didn't have it, like, nope, my life has not been traumatic. It's not that I don't believe them, but I don't see that as the likely answer because life is fucking traumatic. It's just the chances of something bad happening is just, if they're dealing with it well, that's a completely different thing. But to say it didn't happen, so yeah, I like assuming that there is some level. There's some level. So I go into a conversation and I know how I talk when I'm repressing or shit like that. So I mean, I look to see people do that kind of shit too. I
will say one thing that I noticed that always annoyed me was when folks would try to they would try to act like the experiences they had were more than what they were. And so where I'm getting with that is I saw a lot of like support MOSs that would, they would really, really like oversell what they experienced, like I remember one time I was on a flight back after my first deployment, back to the DC area. And I was in uniform because I'm Middle Eastern, and it was just a lot easier to fly in uniform, so I don't get as randomly searched. Plus, they gave me free drinks usually, so it was great. It worked out. And I get in my seat, and this dude and I was a specialist at the time. I was an E4, and this dude like an E5, like a buck sergeant, sits down next to me, and he immediately starts he eyed my rank, and I was sitting towards the window seat, so he couldn't really see that I had because the Army wears a lot of the shit that we've done you can wear, so it's pretty easy to get a gauge of just by looking at the uniform, maybe a little bit into what somebody might have gone through, a little bit. And this dude is he sits down and he's trying to size me up, and I'm just trying to sit there and get fucking home, and get free drinks and not get randomly searched when I'm going through security because my first name is really Middle Eastern. So thanks, Dad. So
all of
still a curse, but whatever. All of it, yeah, it's very Middle Eastern. There's no mistaking. Anyway, yeah, so he fucking sizes me up and he starts asking me all these questions and being really weird. And I see he had a combat patch, right? So I was just trying to make peace, and I was like, oh, cool. Where'd you deploy? What would you do? And he was like, I deployed to Qatar, and he said it that was fucking hardcore. And I was like, dude, I just got back from Afghanistan not that long ago as a grunt going through shit. Don't pretend that Qatar was hardcore, please, man, whatever you're doing, be proud of what you're doing. You joined a specific fucking MOS to do a specific role. Whatever that role was, do that role and be proud of that role. Because I see that a lot. And that still bothers me is when folks don't appreciate their own service, you signed up for a certain job. You went in and did something. That was your choice to do it. And it's a role that needed to be filled. It's a role that needed to get done. You did good shit. If you served honorably and you weren't a piece of shit, you were doing your fucking job. That's what people want. That's what people want. I have a lot of respect. I get excited when I talk to any veteran. I don't care what they've fucking been through, because there's a connection there. And it's cool, but I get fucking
I actually hate saying I was
I get annoyed when people do that.
Sorry.
Yeah, a lot of folks do. They'll either compare, or they'll start if they don't know what you've been through, they'll start they're used to opening that conversation up, and I imagine it's with civilians who have no idea what they're hearing, you know, and like acting like they've been through like, you know, they're like fucking Jason Bourne or some like crazy fucking super soldier or some shit, you know. And I saw that in the intel world. A lot of like fucking intel people would be like, I can't tell you what I did. I'm like, bitch, you can give me fucking details without giving me details. Like, I'm intel now. Like, don't, like, fucking eat a dick, dude. Like, don't give me that shit, you know. When somebody's like, I can't, if I tell you I have to kill you, or like I can't tell you what I did. I'm like, if you really couldn't tell me, if you really couldn't tell me what you were doing, then the dumbest thing you could do is open with that line and give me a hint that you might have done some shit that I, you know, if I really wanted to gather like things against the U.S., like maybe this is a person I want to bet friend, right? Like, come on, man. It's so fucking dumb. Nobody that's serious says that shit. Yeah, it's so lame. Like, but that's something that I've seen a lot, is that people they don't appreciate what they did in the military. And so they run into somebody who's done something different, or they're used to, also, I think part of it is the civilian population. They're used to, you know, like the civilian population blowing smoke over everybody's fucking ass. Like, they see a uniform and they're like, you went to war, you have PTSD, like you must have done this or that. And I'm like, dude, like, fucking calm your tits. So it's coming from multiple angles. I don't know. I'm going on a fucking rant here.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah. But the main point, sorry, to continue the rant, the main point is that everyone did some good shit in the military. As long as you weren't a shitbag, that's all that fucking matters. If you served with honor, like you served honorably, you did your fucking job, you were looking out for the people around you, to me, that's the part that's honorable, right? You do not need to go to combat. You do not need to experience some shit that will fuck you up just to come back home and be comfortable with what you did when you signed up to do what you did. Like, that's not necessary, and that's wrong. And I feel like anyone that does that is doing themselves a disservice, because then how are you ever gonna, you know, like, what's that fucking cliche? Like, love yourself, you know, treat yourself. Like, you're never gonna be able to treat yourself if you always measure yourself up against something that wasn't even your job, you know. That wasn't your role. That wasn't your purpose. So I don't know.
And I'm going to be honest with you, like so like I have it a lot when veterans talk, because I mean, obviously people know like about Project Refit and shit, and the majority of people know what happened to me. If they don't, I'm in the moment. I'm willing to talk about it in extensively. But I have the majority of people lead off with, I haven't been what you've been through. So I'm like, dude, no, time the fuck out. You're already,
it doesn't matter.
You're already making a division. And that's not what I'm about. Like, it's an us thing. You had shit happen to you. I had it happen to me. How's it make you feel? Makes me feel that way too. I have found out that if we do this, it lessens that feeling. It really is that simple. But honestly, like when I run into somebody who served and hasn't seen combat, I genuinely get elated, genuinely, that they didn't experience what we experienced. Like, I think we say, like, well, we obviously say it doesn't fuck us up. It does.
I do and I don't. I feel bad when it's like you joined a combat MOF and you never got to do that.
Well, of course. No, like, yes. Yeah, there's the 50-50.
That's when it's like, you know, if I was in those shoes, I would be so fucking angry.
100%. 100%.
I'd be so fucking mad.
But if I had
and Steven, like, you were a tanker, weren't you?
Yes. Yep. I went to one station unit training to become a tanker. And when I got over to Germany in December of 1990, the place was a ghost town. And because everybody was already down in Kuwait.
Oh, yeah. Desert Shield and all that shit.
And they said, do you know how to drive a truck? And I was like, yeah, I know how to drive a truck. Oh, fuck. You know,
welcome to Rear D.
Crash the truck.
And I ended up in a support platoon driving the Hemmets, and you know what? I kind of fell in love with those trucks. Those trucks are freaking. They're just as intimidating out on the road as a tank is out on the field. You know, I love those Hemmets, man. Absolutely loved them. And
They're mean looking.
I got to play with the tanks when we did Tank Table 12. They would let us go and sit in the loader seat and load, just so we could say that we're doing tanker shit. But I enjoyed it, and I became an 88 Mike. My secondary became my primary. 88 Mike, 77 Fox. I was in a support platoon. I really enjoyed being in that role because I got to know everybody in the whole entire battalion. Like not just my little platoon, like, because everybody came to us, for on log packs and everything, or we were going out to them on log packs. I got to know everybody, and it was I really enjoyed it. And then after active duty, went into the National Guard, and there I ended up being very stagnant because there was no place to move up. But I still had a great time being an 88 Mike. And then after 9/11, I was in the airport, in the Newark airport, and then at the Lincoln Tunnel. And then after that, I was at the Pomona Air Force Base and augmenting security forces. So I got to do a lot of other things other than being a truck driver. But every bit of it was, I loved every bit of it. And if it wasn't for my heart, I'd still be doing it, because I never not wanted to be in the military. Once I became a soldier, because I honestly, like I said last week, I wanted to join the Army to be a freaking drummer, and I was really wanting to march in the drum and bugle corps, but because I'm a band geek at heart, and but they're like, you can go in 2 years, and I was like, no, I want to leave now. And then they showed me a tank, and I was like, and I was like,
the guy with the recruiting video.
You got me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They definitely got me with that recruiting video. Definitely. The tanks jumping over shit. Fuck yeah, I want to be part of that. Yeah.
That shit don't happen.
If I can't be a drummer, I want to fly through the air in a 72-ton freaking tank. So, crickets?
Nah, some dude with horrible brakes.
Hell
and my
yeah.
window's open.
That's awesome.
I just replaced mine.
I need to.
But I don't know where I ended up going off on a tangent.
That's what happens.
Because I did.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the magic. It's the magic of the
sounds like
Zooms.
you actually you had. It sounds like you were happy with like you appreciated what you did.
Oh, I loved what I did. I loved it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. Because I am
That's awesome to hear, man.
I am a pretty social person, and being in a
Oh, you cut out again.
it'll come back.
I think it just did.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just I
Yeah, you were saying being in a support battalion, it's very social. I think, and then I think you cut off.
Oh yeah, I don't know if being in a support platoon is very social, but I made it very social. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of time I was always a smart ass, and a lot of guys would come up, to get fuel, and they're all tired and muddy and disgusting, and just and I'd sit there and make jokes with them and shit, and actually doused myself what they thought was in fuel one time, but it was just water. Like, what are you doing? Freaking out. But it was just water. Just to wake their asses up. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely enjoyed what I did. I loved my job in the military. I loved being a soldier.
Hell yeah.
What rank did you get out at?
What's that?
What rank did you get out at?
E4.
Nice.
Oh, it's the National Guard. National
Yeah,
Guard
yeah,
is
yeah.
that is a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah,
whole nother
'cause there's
beast.
so many-
You
there's
basically
so
like
many-
you're not gonna get promoted until somebody dies or like retires.
Yeah, and there's also
Maybe.
a shit ton of 88 mics, you know? Like everybody has 88 mics, and there was never really any room to step up unless I got into a transportation unit. But if I got into a transportation unit, I would never get promoted, you know, because it's all 88 mics.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I ended up in field artillery units and cav units. Everybody just froze. We're all frozen.
On your
Everybody's-
screen.
Oh
Yeah.
no, all right, we can
still
still
hear
hear
you talking.
Yeah,
Oh wow! Everybody on my screen is
Oh,
just
that-
frozen.
you're
matter.
frozen for us. There it is.
Ah, okay. Yeah. And just like that, I got sidetracked.
E4.
Yeah, E4.
Hey,
clear,
yeah, we're E4 Mafia for life. That's all it is. That's all that means.
Yeah, it's really funny. I've got archons for running fuel sections, you know, taking over an E6 position, and, you know, and
Doing
you
all
know,
squad leader shit, and you were in E4.
I ran the fuel section for the entire brigade at one point up in Fort Drum.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was like, hell, why am I doing this? I was like, why am I?
It just hit you. Wait
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a second, why am I here? Why am I doing this paperwork? Because I just want to be out there pumping fuel. I don't want to do all this paperwork shit. I'm signing for all.
Someone's
this
got
fuel?
to do it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
that's
signing for
why
all
it's
this
better to be
now.
it's better to be lower enlisted when you're in Guard or Reserve.
It kind of is. Yeah.
It was better to be lower enlisted in inactive. What do you mean? Do this.
I don't know.
Okay.
The hell you say?
You know,
the
I
hell
think-
you
I think
say?
I think
Dude,
it depends. It depends. If you're like a sergeant or staff sergeant, like you can get away with more shit and not have to deal with as much admin shit. But once you hit that like E7, E8, you're just fucked with admin.
Yeah, I'm friends with guys that I went to basic training with in 1990, and
Nice.
they're all three of them are sergeant majors, and one is a command sergeant major. And I'm like looking at my sleeve, and I'm like, I got an eagle too.
Yeah, but did they hold on? Did they turn into how were they when you knew them?
What do you mean?
Like what kind of like
Well, the one
Yes.
guy.
when they
Go ahead.
go ahead.
All right, the one
I was
guy.
saying like jokesters, you know, shit like that.
Oh yeah. Well, the one guy, this guy Larry Shen, he that boy can eat anything. Like earlier, somebody was saying something about the saltine challenge thing. I watched him eat both of the MRE crackers in under a minute without any water, and I'm still baffled at how he did that. And he still will do it for privates that don't believe him.
He's built up a lining of it inside of him. That's why it just goes down with ease now.
Right? It's like, what the hell?
It's like drywall.
But he's
Not,
They cut out again.
yeah.
Mm.
This is gonna be the standard sign for it. Just so
Maybe
you
he's
know.
on Facebook.
who? Me?
Oh,
Yeah.
there he is. You're back. You're back.
I'm back. Okay. He's Larry. He's down in Fort Hood now. But we ride when he's around. We ride motorcycles together, and he's still he's the same exact goofball that he was when we were in basic training. The other two guys, they
good to know.
take life too seriously. You know, the one guy, he's
That's
down.
where I was getting at.
Yeah, the one guy, he's down in the Pentagon, and he doesn't have time for us anymore. And the other one, he's like Mr. Gung Ho. You know, he's the guy that puts fuck in the middle of every like syllables. Darren fucking T. You know, everything.
I love it.
Everything. Yeah, but yeah. But they're about the only three guys that I still talk to. But it is funny. They're all like E9s and it's still an E4. I mean, I'm not ashamed of it, but their pension's going to be a hell of a lot better than mine. You know, because when they're going to have so many years taken off their lives from the stress that comes with
I
that
was
job.
just going to say it.
Yeah, that's true. But
some things are not worth the pay.
Yeah. When they medically retired me at 18 years in, they did give me my 20, which was great, but I got to wait till I turn 60, another 10 years to start collecting that.
Yeah,
Guaranteed though, so that's good.
Say it again?
I said it's guaranteed though, so that's good. At least
Yes.
you can expect it.
Yes.
Sucks dick you have to wait though.
Yeah. And I'm still trying to, I've had a claim open with the VA since 2008. And I still haven't received any kind of percentage or anything like that.
What state are you in?
What's that?
What state are you in?
New Jersey. I'm in New Jersey. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I heard you. I'm sorry.
That's half your problem right there.
Yeah. I am. Well, I'm also the problem because I don't have time to go and sit with the VA to make sure that this gets taken care of, because I am paycheck to paycheck and I don't get that much vacation time, and with my heart condition, most of my vacation time is eaten up with my with going to the hospital. So this coming January, when I get my 2 weeks of vacation time, I am taking vacation. I am going to go and sit down and just, I'm going to be a thorn in anybody's side that can get something done, because I'm getting too old to be doing what I do in civilian world. And it's like, I don't know. It's time that they take care of me, because I mean, I never wanted to not be doing this. It was their decision to have me not be a soldier anymore. So, but because of the fact that, you know, again, I'm paycheck to paycheck. I have 6 kids and an ex-wife. The time is of essence, and
I might have somebody who might be able to help you. Let me talk with him.
Right.
I'll talk with you a little offline just to get a little more detail, a little more information about it, because he'll ask me questions. Yeah, let me talk to him, because he's the director of the Veteran Affairs in Ocean City, so I can see if he can't help.
Okay. Is that where you're at in Ocean City?
I'm in New Jersey. I'm in Pennsauken. I don't know if you know Cherry Hill. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did, on Merchantville Avenue. Yeah.
I'm
Merchantville.
I'm on Terrace, right off Browning.
Okay.
Yeah, right next to vocational school. No, my mom grew up on Browning.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, let me talk with him and see if he can't. Yeah, let me talk. I'm sorry. That was
Okay.
2 thoughts happened at once and they were battling. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me talk with him.
All right. Yeah, but again, most of it is my fault. I've been holding up $1 on a dime for too long, And
I mean, life happens, but still, there should be some that they should be trying to do, reaching out. You know what I mean? I guarantee something's not getting done that should be getting done. Of course, some of it's on you because it's your claim, but
yeah,
you also have life happening and life circumstances that they work with my shit. They work with other people. You know what I mean? It should be. Half the shit could probably be done over Zoom as long as it's not like regarding your medical documents and shit like that.
Right. I've actually had over the course of years 3 of the people that have been the VA representatives that have been handling my case. 3 of them have died, and I've had to start all over again.
All right, I'm not gonna tell him that though. Okay, I'm gonna leave that piece out.
There's, hey, can I speak with so and so? Really? Now I got to start all over again, explain everything all over again to somebody new. Yeah, 3 times that happened.
Yeah, no, I've lucked out. All of my, I mean, I've only been out since 2017, and as soon as I got out, I mean, I had therapy set up at the vet center before I even left El Paso. I think
Well,
almost a year before I left the military, I had therapy set up for like when I got home, so there was no lapse. But I've never had an issue at my VA. I'm not saying there aren't any, but that Philadelphia one, it's I feel like is that the one you go to?
that's the one that I got into. Woodhaven Road.
No. That's the 8200. It's the hospital. The hospital in Philadelphia, the VA hospital in Philadelphia. That's where I do all my shit at.
I haven't been over there.
Where'd you file your claim at?
Fort Dix.
Have you gone to a VSO since?
Yeah, I've been to down Atlanta County. I've worked through them. I've worked through. There used to be a VA rep right here in Hamilton. I'm in Hamilton, and there used to be a VA rep right in Hamilton. When there was a what we called it, one-stop unemployment. There was a rep in there that quite a few years ago. It's no longer there, but no,
sign's still there.
Yeah, the sign is still there. Yeah, it sure is, but nothing inside. So.
Well, it is New Jersey, so.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got a couple people I'm going to hit up actually.
Yeah. The only thing. This is just me being maybe a little petty.
Sure.
The only thing that I received when they retired me was a retirement packet, just the orders, and that's it. Like I got nothing.
Like medical records or like nothing wise.
Well, no, I'm talking about like the the I love me wall kind of shit. I remember going to like all kind of different hail and farewells, like all these different people would retire, and the unit would throw them a big party, and it's like when I retired, it was in 2008, and I believe pretty much the entire all of New Jersey Guard was already, but they were like overseas. So it was just like, yeah, we'll talk to you later. Here's your packet, and I wasn't. Bless you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very, very strange time in my military career when that happened, because after I was on the air base mission, I went back to the Vineland Armory, and that wasn't when I left Vineland Armory to go to the air base mission. It was the 5th 117th Cav.
we'll see. I mean, Dan, do you guys have each other's contact information?
From and I
He cut out.
I cut out again.
You're good now. You just
Oh.
came back.
Okay. When I went back, when I came off that mission, I didn't know anybody over there. Like, as a matter of fact, like when I first showed up for the first drill, they were like, "Hey, let me show you around the armory." And looking at the guy, like, dude, I've been in this armory for like 10 years. I could show you. Hey, do you know about the ghost up in the second floor bathroom? You know, like, who are you? Yeah. So nobody even said anything to me. Like once they decided once they realized that I had atrial fibrillation, and they put me in the medical hold unit, the unit that I was with, they just kind of forgot about me. They just kind of forgot about me. So I was like, okay.
Send me a message. Send me your phone number and your email, and then I'll reach out to these. I have 3 people. One for sure I'm hitting up tomorrow. He was supposed to come on here today. I'm assuming something came up, so he might be on Friday if you're going to come on this Friday one. And that's the director of the Ocean County one, Ocean City.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, send me that stuff, and I'll talk to him.
How do I?
Mo, I want to talk to Ball too. What'd you say?
How do I send you some stuff?
All right. Do you see you see the chat? It's at the very bottom in the center.
Yes.
Click that, and then you can see it says right at the bottom, close to the bottom, it says 2, and then just click my name. If I mean, you could just, if you do it in the to everyone, it doesn't go to fate. Like only us see it in the Zoom.
Okay. There you are. That's you.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm gonna read.
Hey, while you guys do that, Bruno, let's get your thoughts on this.
You're muted, Bruno.
There we go.
There we are.
I didn't even know there was anything wrong with me until I found you guys. So,
You're welcome.
Listen, when I finally went to the neurologist, she talked to me for 5 minutes, and she goes, "You do know you have PTSD?" I said, "Oh yeah, I know. I'm in a support group." And she goes, "That's good," and then gave me a psych referral. So it's like we kind of fool ourselves sometimes with how well we deal with things. We think we're doing really well, and we sometimes learn the hard way that we're not doing as well as we think we were. And a group like this is a good place to perhaps find out more gently than go see a shrink. But I mean, and my trauma was probably mainly from law enforcement, not even the military. So I always, kind of told you guys in a little bit of awe, and it kind of got put to me that I signed the same paperwork everybody else signed, and I took my chances on getting deployed the same way everybody else did. It just never happened with me, and so I have come to realize that is probably true. My issues are different than Dan's, and I am learning to deal with them. And Mo's got his issues, and Steve, I feel for you with the heart. I'm on my 3rd pacemaker, so
It's my next step. That's that. If I go out of rhythm again, that's what they're doing as pacemaker.
yeah, they work. I hope you don't mind getting pat down if you travel, because you will not make it through a metal detector at the airport ever again in your entire life. It's just the way it
But
is.
it's worth it. But it's worth it.
You
Hey,
know,
if you like the touches, then it's
all I know is coming back from Florida, my wife got singled out because they found a trace of something on one of her bags, and I get patted down by a guy that looks like Lurch off the Addams Family, and she gets the cute girl, and I'm just, life is just not fair. She was like totally traumatized by it.
Would you be okay with the reverse?
Listen.
Don't be
She
selfish.
was totally traumatized by this. She was in tears, and the girl spent more time trying to calm her down than searching her. I said, "What are you complaining about?" I said, "I get, the giant guy. At least you had a cute girl patting you down." But she says she's never flying again. We'll see. It's trauma is funny. What totally freaked her out is like a matter of routine to me. It's very individual. So I think that makes it very difficult to compare. Because what bothers you, I may just like that's no big deal. What's everybody getting upset about that for? And what bothers me, you may laugh like what the heck's he getting upset about? That's nothing. It's very trauma is very individualized.
It is.
I have a bad habit of always going to the worst case scenario. I got to go tomorrow to get my leg checked now for blood clots because they killed the vein in it, and they told me there's going to be a lot of pain. You probably shouldn't drive. Make sure you have a ride home. And when I get there, it was like literally nothing. They didn't even use anesthetic because the guy said it's going to hurt more to give you the anesthetic than to just do the procedure. So I said, well, then just do the procedure. I had none of the side effects they told me to watch out for. But yet I built it up in my mind that, this is going to hurt. I'm going to be down for a month. And literally almost nothing. I mean, a couple days, but... And then, because, like I said, my thing is I go right to the worst case scenario usually. But...
I don't want to be a party pooper, but I have school in the morning, so I'm going to hop off for tonight. Stephen, I haven't met you before, and I haven't seen you on here, so thank you. Nice meeting you, number one, and thank you for coming. Just in case you don't know, the Friday one's not live stream, but we have it on Friday also. So if you want to come back on Friday night, same time, same link, just click the same thing, and it'll bring you right to us. Yep. I'll send you a text right now. Just you have my number. It's a 915 number. Do you want me to, after I'm done talking to these guys, would you rather me text you or email you, or call you or email you?
You can, whichever's easiest for you.
I'll probably just call you then. Yeah. All right, cool. I'll let me talk with them in the next couple of days, and then I'll give you a call.
Okay.
All righty, Bruno. It's good seeing you again, man. I love you.
I will see you again. What are you doing on the 23rd?
What month are we in?
October.
Mo and I are going to Denver. Him and I will be in Denver the 22nd to the 24th, actually.
I love Denver.
Why? What's on the 23rd?
We're doing a thing, and I rented a table for refit, and Corbett's not going to be there.
Fuck.
So I was going to see if somebody else wanted to come down too.
I'll see if Rocco wants to come, or Mike Lauver. See if anybody else wants to come.
I definitely do Denver though. I mean.
Yeah, I haven't been to. I've been to Colorado. Yeah, haven't been to Denver yet. So I'm looking forward
Used to be a beautiful city. That's where I did tech school. So
we should have fun, Mo and I.
It's like any other city you go to, honestly. Except there's nice mountains in the backdrop. It's really cool.
oh,
Dude,
there's-
honestly, when we were in Colorado doing that Spartan race in Colorado Springs, that was like one of the only things that like I was sucking different dollars, and I was like, oh, because Jersey, we don't have mountains here, and I haven't seen them since El Paso.
yeah, there's a lot to do in Denver. There's museums, the zoo, the planetarium.
We're not going to have a lot of time, and we're going there for a reason. So we're probably not going to be able to do pretty much anything. But we'll try, and I think we should try and squeeze at least like one thing in that's memorable. Give us something positive, Mo?
Yeah, that's true.
We'll
Their
see.
USO downtown was really nice too.
I don't know if I'll go to that.
Oh my God.
I haven't been in a USO since I've been in a USO twice, and they were right before and right after Afghanistan, and I haven't been in one since.
Yeah,
But
they're-
all right, yeah, I'm gonna hop off. I will see you guys Friday. I'm sure I'll be on Friday night.
all right, stay
Alrighty.
safe.
I will. Thank you too, man.
Take it easy.
Pluto.
See ya.
Yeah, I'm probably going to jump off. I got to be in early tomorrow to get
Yeah.
them
Yep.
to check me. They lost me on Friday when I went in to do the procedure. I'm sitting there in the waiting room, spent an hour filling out paperwork, and then my phone starts ringing, and it's my wife because they called her and told her I never showed up. I'm like,
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm sitting here in the waiting room. I said, why didn't you just check on your phone to see where I'm at? Because I have tracking on. And she's like, it wouldn't track you. She says, I thought you went off the deep end and,
Yeah.
No, I did not go off the deep end. I'm just sitting here in the waiting room. Had to go find out. I don't know what the problem was, but they totally lost me. Plain
Wow.
sight.
It's crazy.
It was kind of funny, really, but
All right.
I mean,
Well,
other than her getting upset. They finally decided to call me, and I'm answering the phone. And they're like, "Where are you at?" I said, "I'm like watching you on the phone."
you're trying to like set her up for failure, man.
It really was funny, but like I said, she was like highly upset. So hopefully they won't lose me this time.
Yeah.
Just gotta put one of those like little
Bruno.
bag things. The
Yeah.
square. What are the square things?
Are you in Hamilton as well?
Yeah,
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
yeah.
Whereabouts?
I just joined the DAV here.
Okay. I'm right across the street from the DAV, over in the Park Avenue condos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Larry talked me. I said I'm not my disabilities are not service related. He says you got PTSD. They don't know where that happened.
Right. Right.
I'm like, I'll tell you what, they're I like the Hamilton DAV because they're like refit. They see something that needs to be done and they just get it done, and and they just kind of ignore everything else. And so I said I'll fill out the application, and if they okay it, I'm in. And I filled out the application, and they okayed it, and I'm in. So
Were you? Are you familiar with the chili challenges that I used to run?
the what?
I used to run. I was a commander at the American Legion for quite a few years, and
You blanked out again.
Yeah, it's still cut out.
Yeah.
freaking internet. There you go.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
It's Facebook's fault.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I actually did 2 of them behind the Nesca Firehouse, and then 2 of them over at the Mount Carmel Carnival grounds.
Oh, the chili cook-offs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a chili recipe. Somebody has been begging me for because they want to enter it, and I won't give it to them.
Yeah, so I'm
Sounds like you guys should make this happen.
yeah.
Are you, Steven?
Bacon apple chili.
Are you looking at doing it again?
The chili challenges, yes.
Bacon apple chili.
I'm bacon apple chili. Oh my god.
Yeah, anything that starts off with a pound of bacon has got to be good. I mean, I'm just
That's how I start mine.
that's the rule.
yeah.
Start mine. But yeah, actually, James has told me that he would really like to see me do that again. So I might be doing it through them. I haven't been involved with any of the Hamilton
Okay.
Tri-Vets for quite a few years because something it for me got very, very political.
It's
And
Hamilton.
I know. I had to step away. I had to step away from it. And there honestly there is some bad blood between me and some other people. And it was kind of how they handle it and how I handle it. And I've tried to rectify, but I don't know.
I usually say something highly inappropriate, inexplicably personal, and if they don't like it, they can.
Well, what had happened was the last one that we did very well on, and the mayor, Tina Nano, he came up to me and he put his arm around me and he's like, I really want to see this become a Hamilton tradition. And to me, that was a huge win right there because, Hamilton, very big on traditions. And the rest of the Legion didn't want to really see it getting bigger. They thought, number one, they thought $5 was too little for entrance fee. And they wanted to bring it up to $10, and they actually wanted to make it smaller and have it over at the American Legion. I was like, wait a second, this doesn't work for me.
Well, first of all, the entrance fee was like $5 and a half gallon of chili.
No, like for just for you to walk in the gate, it was $5.
Oh,
yeah, and but they wanted it to be like $10 for people to just walk in. The entrance fee for the contestants, I think, was $20 and 7 quarts of chili. But there was always a prize, to go along with that entrance fee. You could win, money. So, but it was the net profits went to Veterans Haven. So, and the last year we did really well, and I thought everything worked out real well, and we worked as a very good team to get it together. But it was the what happened afterwards. It just started turning way too political for me, and I was also in the midst of adopting my youngest son and becoming a resource parent through the state of New Jersey, and it was too much for me to be commander, run the chili challenge, and become work 70 hours a week and become a resource parent so I could adopt my child, and it was just a crazy time for me, and I think I let my emotions really come through at that point. But I was stressed. I was like really stressed at that point in my life because of everything that was going on. And when something that it was like that chili challenge was like my baby, and it came to fruition after the 4th year of doing it. It finally came to like really becoming something really. It was always a really good thing. But that 4th year that I did it was just like wow, this is why we're doing it. This is, the outcome was incredible.
Well,
So
I'll tell you what, Refit and the DAV are developing a real nice relationship. As a matter of fact, they just sent a nice check over to James
nice.
in support, and so if you're interested in doing it again, between Refit and the DAV, we could probably pull it off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could. I just have to I will have to eat some crow if I want to do it here in Hamilton, and apologize for something that I don't necessarily feel that I need to apologize for, but politically I have to apologize.
Yeah, see, when they make me apologize, it's never pretty.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. And instead of making things ugly, I just stepped away from it all. I stepped away from it all, and don't let that be like, because the guys that were there, I love them. I love all those guys. They were awesome. They were awesome guys, and they still are. There was some things that were said, some things that were done that I'm not 100% proud of. And I don't know if they're proud of it either. So,
well, I do know when I was in the Republican Club, they sent a message down that as long as I was an officer in the Republican Club, Hamilton would get no county road work done. So
that's nice.
how to make